What's up, good people? Good people, good people. Good Wednesday night. Can y'all hear my music? I don't have time tonight. I'm living my best life. I'm not going back and forth with nobody. And it's Wednesday. It's hump day. What's up, good people? I miss y'all. Welcome to Dialogues with Doc. Again, it's Wednesday, July 14, 2021. Another amazing episode of Dialogues with Doc is on the horizon. I am so glad you guys are joining me on tonight. Tonight's show is a little different because I always get nervous before a show. And tonight I'm really nervous, and I'll tell you guys why I'm really nervous as we get more into the show. But tonight's show is special to me, so thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for joining me. This is another episode of an amazing platform that just talk about different things. For those who don't know, this show was birthed in the midst of COVID. So I am coming up on my 1 year anniversary next month. So I am so excited because I have some amazing shows planned, and tonight's going to add to that roster. So have some amazing shows lined up. I want to let you guys know I've gotten some of the emails, read some of the comments. This is a show for everybody. So I want to touch and tackle topics all over the place. So it may seem strange to you, but it may seem right for someone else. So this is a show where I want to talk about everything. So all topics are invited. I love all guests. I want to just expand our horizons and our way of thinking as we move through the rest of this pandemic and through the rest of life. So that's how Dialogues with Doc was birthed. We're going to keep pushing this thing out each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. If this is your first time watching, thank you. If you're a return watcher, I really thank you for rocking with me and hanging in there with me throughout all of this craziness that I like to call life and engaging dialogue. Before we get started, I want to do something really quickly. So if you would oblige me for a second, if this is your first time watching, do me a favor, pull that cell phone out, open that camera, and scan this QR code. Yes, that's right. I have a YouTube channel that all these shows are streaming live on as well each and every week. So it streams live on the Facebook Live, and it also streams live on the YouTube channel. So if you missed the Facebook Live or the YouTube channel, or the YouTube show, you can always go back and watch it again. But if you open your camera for me, scan that QR code, you can immediately subscribe to the YouTube channel. So whenever I go live, like right now, you will immediately get a notification that the show is live, and you can go back and watch all the other shows that have previously taken place in order as well, or however you choose to see fit. So I am trying to make this thing happen, get this great content and information to more and more people each and every week. So you may be watching it now. I'm going to speak this into existence because God knows what he's doing. Somebody in Singapore may wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and is on YouTube searching for something, and they may come across Dialogues with Doc. So, hey, they have something to watch there for their leisure and for their information. Also, this show is my baby. It's a lot of great content, a lot of awesome guests, but it costs to put it together. So if you want to support the show, there is the Cash App in the bottom, $ I am Doc Verde. You can support the show in any shape or form. No donation is too small. So go ahead and do that for me as well. Last thing before I jump into tonight's awesome and amazing topic, tonight's sponsor for tonight's show. Again, I'm so excited. I finally get to say my show is sponsored by somebody else besides me. So tonight's show is sponsored by, if you're in the Philadelphia area, I have an awesome and amazing young lady who has been a guest on my show before. She's doing some amazing things in the Philadelphia area. So tonight's show, again, is sponsored by the Divine Life Academic Preschool. If you're in the Philly area, tonight's show is sponsored by the Divine Life Academic Preschool. That number is 215-939-2842. Again, that number is 215-939-2842. And also, if you're in the Philly area and have a child who will be turning 3 years old by September the 1st, then you qualify for free preschool. And if you like me, free 99 is my love language. So if you qualify and your child qualifies for free preschool, please call Dana at 215-939-2842. And I believe Dana even has before care and after care for students who are in school as well. So call Dana, tell her I sent you, tell her Dialogues with Doc sent you, and get that good, amazing information from her. All right. So listen, got all that stuff out the way. I'm out of breath already, but it's for a reason. I'm like, y'all, I'm so nervous. Like, I'm over here shaking in this chair because of my guest tonight. And when I bring her on, I'll explain a little bit more about why I am so nervous. I got my essential with me because it's gonna be good tonight, y'all. As I think and go through the patterns and preparation for the show, I always come up with amazingly random topics, and then I have to think and strategically pray to God, because I'm a believer and I'm a Christian, on who to invite. So it's no shade to anybody. I love everybody, but God strategically puts in place who He wants me to invite on the show to share the platform with me. So if your time hasn't come, just wait. It's coming, but I gotta be obedient. Okay, so I gotta be obedient and do what I have to do. And so that's how I come up with these amazing guests who have a lot to share, a lot to give. And this is how we go. House rules for tonight, nothing's changed. Like the broadcast, comment during the broadcast, share the broadcast, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe. Like, comment, share, subscribe. It's that simple. You want to roll with your boy? That's all I ask you to do each and every week. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Ashley, it's coming. Ashley, y'all stay tuned for this one right here. She's coming too. She's coming too. I got something for y'all in real soon. So that's my former student. She's doing some amazing things, and I'm going to get her on one of these weeks as well. I'm not going to tell you how I get into her story when she's on the show. Yeah. So like, comment, share, subscribe. Those are the house rules. I'm so excited. Tonight's show is the Living Your Best Life edition. I don't know about you. COVID has drained me. People have drained me. I need to live my best life. So I have an amazing guest joining me tonight to just talk to me about this thing, how she's living her best life, what she's doing. She probably, knowing her, I've known her for years. She'll probably end up pouring into someone who is just destitute and broke, busted, and disgusted by just her words. Her words have so much power. But I'm gonna get out the way and bring my amazing guest on. Of course, this is Dialogues with Doc. You guys know I can bring her on, but no other way but the right Dialogues with Doc way. We appreciate people while they are living. And this is how we're going to keep doing this thing on tonight. So come to the stage is my amazing guest, Miss Stephanie No. Steph, how are you?
How are you?
I am great. Let me get this thing going real quick. Okay. There we go. I'm great. How are you, sis?
Man, I'm doing good. Can't complain.
I am so excited to see you. Let me get this thing right real quick. I don't want to be too close. There we go. Okay. So excited to see you on tonight. Look, thank you for joining me to do this thing tonight. Long story short, me and Stephanie go way back, like way back. And I'm so excited to have you on the show tonight because I want to give you your flowers while you can still smell them. I don't know if you recall, but I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. This show is Stephanie's fault, and I'm gonna tell you how it's Stephanie's fault. A long time ago, Stephanie had this show that has transformed over the years and when it was called 360 Talk, Stephanie invited me on to be a guest. I had no idea what I was doing, but I must have done something right and kept my manager intact because she invited me back a couple times. So 360 Talk gave me this interest in doing this live radio podcast type thing years ago. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to even be a guest on the show and just continuing to just inspire and motivate me from afar. I'm so excited to have you on tonight, and I just love our brother and sister relationship, personally, professionally, spiritually. So just thank you so much for everything.
Yes, and thank you for having me on the show. It's an honor and a privilege. It's just good to keep the connections with certain people for years. And that's one thing you can't, take for granted when you are connected with somebody over years. You see them, you celebrate them through their successes. You see them when they have things that they struggle through, but they make it through. But it's all good. So I'm glad we're still being able to be connected with one another.
Me too. Me too. Me too. Y'all, me and Stephanie grew up together. We grew up in church. Shout out to Southern Crest. I'm sorry, the Southern Crest Full Gospel Baptist Church. If you're watching right now from Southern Crest, I'm telling Reverend Mike on you. I'm playing. You could be in two places at one time. But yeah, that's where we got our upbringing. And Stephanie was older than me, but she was never too far from us in age where she couldn't connect with us. So you were always that inspiration, the inspirational big sister, big cousin, or big whatever to us, and you always came and poured back. So over the years, those type of things helped to motivate and encourage and inspire me. And just seeing you thrive and go through life and just live your best life is why I said, you know what? I know exactly who I want to bring on. I know exactly what the topic is, and we're gonna get into this thing and just we're gonna get into and do what we do. So tonight is special Power Talk Convergence with Dr. So you're getting two shows in one with two amazing people. So do us a favor, like, comment, subscribe, share all the good stuff. If you have questions, if you want to comment, I love to highlight those as well. As we talking, we're just having a conversation and we're just inviting you guys in to join us. Is that cool, Stephanie?
Yes, that's cool. Let's get it.
All right. So I want to start this thing off just with my general question. I ask everybody this question just because I have to, and I just need to know, how are you maneuvering through this pandemic? I know it's been a lot. We are about 16 months into this thing, and I just like to do a social emotional check with all of my guests before we even get started into the meat and potatoes of what we're going to be discussing on tonight.
You know what, maneuvering through this pandemic, it's been different. I can say that for not only me, but everybody else out there can relate to that. And different meaning that there was a lot of change that was being, lumped into these, what we're on month 15, 16 now. But, what I would say is that the most thing maneuvering through this, it made me be flexible to change. A lot of times we get so comfortable in where we are in the routine to say every day is going to be like this. But the pandemic taught me was like, every day may not be like this. You're just going to have to adjust, put a smile on your face and keep it moving. And so that's the one thing that I learned. Everybody had different emotions. You felt down. You were happy one time. You were kind of sad you couldn't do the things that you normally do. But I always learned that's what helped me now and continue to move forward is that change is inevitable. And you're going to have to be able to adapt to the changes in life.
And I love how you said the part about being flexible. We say we like change, we say we like challenges, but we have faced one of the biggest challenges and changes in our lives that no one that we know can ever recall experiencing. So that flexibility piece is key, especially as we continue to just maneuver through the rest of whatever this is for however long. And it just teaches us how to be patient. So just practice our fruits of the spirit. Patience is the one I'm just stuck on and have been on for the last 16 to 18 months. But no, thank you for just sharing that, because someone was empowered by what you said just now with the flexibility piece of just stay flexible, y'all. I never thought that we could, as educators, could personally be working from home, and we did it, and some of us are still doing it. And it's crazy how life's changed immediately, and that flexibility piece in every aspect is just what has continued to be that common thread that has driven us through the rest of this thing. So my big sister, talked about flexibility, but in the midst of and around the flexibility, she has been doing a thing. Charles, man, thank you for watching from Barbados. I appreciate you, man. I got Barbados watching, so I got be on my best behavior tonight. Crystal, I see you. Hey, Deacon Trendsetter is hosting another show. I got to get you on one of these weeks. So in this flexibility, you still have been doing the thing. You still have been grinding, working hard, work hard, play hard, relax, thriving.
Yes.
And I love how when we talk about the theme, living your best life, it's for me, it's all about surviving and thriving, surviving in the midst of whatever you're going through and thriving at the same time. But for you, Steph, what does living your best life mean to you specifically?
When we talk about living our best life, the terminology, everybody is taking it to say living your best life may be just looking at, doing different things, the materialistic side of it, going on trips, doing all these different things, just living your best life, doing the things you never had been able to do. But what I want to challenge everyone out there tonight is to think about living your best life in a deeper meaning of life. And what I mean by that is that when you start really living your best life, you start looking at the things that are not tangible. And what I mean by that is that also that when we say living our best life is that when you're able to have peace within yourself, when you're able to be able to say, you know what, all is well with me. I may not be in the best health, but I still can get around. See, that's what living your best life is. Sometimes we take it differently, saying that, that's because I live in this certain area code, I do these certain things. And that's nothing is wrong with that. Whatever you can do, live your best life. But we also need to go back to the point of that a lot of people can have peace. They struggling, they looking for peace, and you can't buy peace. You can't buy the joy that is within. And so when I say living the best life, you start thinking about, I'm living in joy because I'm not going to let those things bother me. I'm not going to let those people bother me. That's when you live in your best life. Then all those other things come after that. The things that we want of this on this earth, the things that we want to kind of live in our best life, the trips we want to take, the things that we want to have, all that comes secondary. But you got to first be at peace within yourself.
God, I love what you just said. And it's crazy because it took me back to one of those old sermons Pastor Henderson preached about you can buy a big king size bed, but you can't buy sleep.
That's right.
Buy a big king size bed, but you can't buy sleep, and you can't buy peace. And that whole non-tangible piece definitely is so key because people try to materialize living your best life, but it's the stuff we take for granted. It's having genuine and authentic love from somebody, having peace, having no drama. God, I'm gonna make it even more plain. Having loved ones that are still here, because so many have transitioned away in the midst of COVID. So I love how you frame that. I see you, Delison. Come on, peace of mind. George connected to your conviction.
Right.
Happiness is about your circumstances. These are the things that I feel as an educator working in a high school. So many of our teens are missing. They're missing the meaning of what living your best life means because they're so caught up in the social media frenzy or what their friends are doing. And it's the simple stuff that allow and empower us to live our best lives. So I love how you said that. I'm going to go here. So can you just tell everyone about your upbringing and how that impacted the way you made decisions growing up and even now as an adult? So I'm going to take you back. Growing up, just like I did, we grew up in the church, and it really informed our decision making with some things, maybe growing up. But now it's like I'm grown. I can
got a choice.
I got a choice. So let's talk about that for a second.
So of course, Dr. Calvin, you can relate to the backgrounds of when we talk about upbringing. And I can always remember about my upbringing is that I was given a strong foundation. And, you have to go back and think about what are you rooted in? Yeah. And so I was given those foundational tools to be rooted in. Everybody did not have the opportunity, of course, and everybody's fine. You didn't have to go to church 24/7. You didn't have to be there 7 days a week. But with my upbringing, I was in church a lot. That's it is what it is. And what I would say is that whatever your foundation is, you just have to be built on a strong foundation. And I think that's what helped me was the consistency of that foundation. The other thing was really just, never giving up. That kind of spirit is that, you may hit hard times in your life, but never give up. Stay to the course. And I think that's really what helped me later on in life, because as you know, we ran into a lot of things in our adult life. And if you don't have that strong foundation, if you're not rooted in something, you're going to constantly fall. And so I would say with anything, it doesn't matter how your upbringing was as an adult now, get rooted into something where you can be stable in that and know that whatever it is, whether whether it's your hope, your faith, something, you have to be on a steady foundation so those things won't waver, because things are going to keep coming. COVID came, something else is going to come in your life that you're going to have to be built on a strong foundation.
I love how you frame that, because in order for you to live your best life, you got to be able to stand flat-footed on something. And most people are not standing on a firm foundation. That foundation is key, no matter how old you are. And even if you're an adult, you still have time if you have a weary or rocky foundation to get your feet planted on something. And I love how you said, like, for me, as I get older, my foundation is my peace. My peace is something that I don't play with. My peace, my money, and my energy, I don't play with. That's my
yes.
foundation. Like, if I can stand flat-footed on anything, I want to stand flat-footed on my peace. That's non-negotiable. My money, because I don't like wasting it, is non-negotiable, and my energy.
Right.
And that's how, that foundational piece for us as we evolve. When I was younger, I thought it was something different. Well, it was something different. As I've gotten older and matured, and as an adult, these are just things for me living my best life, I'm not playing. That's my trinity. I'm not playing with those three at all. It is what it is, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be for me. For you, it may be something else. For someone else watching, it may be something else. But that foundation is key, especially as we continue to grow and mature and spread our wings even more, because we've been spreading them. We've been spreading them for a while. Just doing, just growing up and becoming preteens, the teens, to young adults, to adults, and now we're at the point where living our best life is just, we're just doing the thing. So no, my big sister is right on with that foundation piece. I want to go here since I went there on my own. For you, Steph, what are 3 principles or non-negotiables that you personally established for living your best life? So for me, it's my peace, it's my money, and my energy. What is it for you?
So, I'm gonna start right there, of course, that both of us can agree on. It's gonna be peace. The next thing is living in hope. And my third thing is the attitude, having a good attitude. That's non-negotiable. I can't be around people where your attitude is jacked up. It's just we got to get to the point that, now, like you said, as you get older in life, you just like, I can't be around it. Before, when I was younger, I'd be like, oh, okay, I'll tolerate it. That's just them. But right now, it's like now it's so much at stake. We've seen how we've lived through this pandemic. People didn't make it out the pandemic. Certain things happen even in life outside of the pandemic. And you start to realize, what? If I can't be around somebody that don't have no peace, they not looking forward to hope. There's always, you have to always continue to have hope, no matter what goes on in your life. And then having a good attitude through it. You got to have, pull from something. Every day ain't gonna be sunshiny, but you got to pull from that attitude to say, whatever comes my way, I'm still gonna be remain in having a good attitude about life.
That's it. And see that. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, because it's my big sister. That attitude thing, y'all, I'm still struggling with a little bit. It's gotten better.
Everybody struggles.
It's one of them things where I'm holy, but I'm a little hood too. So you depend on what day you give me. You might, and I'm working with teenagers, so don't let the bow tie fool you. I'll tell a kid that in a minute in the school building. Let this bow tie fool you. Like, I'll take it off. It's just something that we consistently and continually work on. So I love how you said that, because you gave me another reminder to add that to my own non-negotiable list of attitude. I got to go back and add that one. So on this journey to living your best life, Steph, have you had to handle expired friendships and energy? So as we grow, as we mature, some things are inevitable. I remember going to University of Houston. I sat in that first U.S. history class, and the professor said, look to your left and look to your right. By the end of the semester, the person sitting next to you probably won't be here. So that just happens in life as well. We go through things, we go through friendships, and some people's energies we don't just rock with anymore. So as you go on this journey, or continue to go on this journey of living your best life, how have you handled some of those things?
To be honest, and you really have to be transparent with your audience, is that I think that's a big part. Like when you talk about handling expired friendships and energies, that's huge, because a lot of people just can't let go. And what I've learned throughout that journey is that I've tried to, in the past, hold on to certain people just for holding on for the sake of holding on, because I didn't want to disappoint them. I didn't want to upset them. But when I started realizing, as we talk about, we say self-care, but I started realizing that self-care, there's some things that I need, that I have to put myself first. And so as we grow, when you grow, every version in your growth requires a different version of you, meaning that Some of the same places you were at, you can't be at no more. Some of the same conversations you used to have, you can't have them anymore. And so when I tell people, a lot of people get upset, well, this person doesn't talk to me. You know what I say? And I actually put a post out there a couple of weeks ago. Don't take it personal. See, we take things too personal. We should be happy to say, you know what? I see this person over here growing. You know, it'll be an opportunity for that other person to grow. See, we got to all look at ourselves. And we take it for, well, she don't talk to me no more. She don't hang out. Maybe when that person decided to go a different route, it wasn't about you. And that's what people have to understand. You have to look at yourself and say, what is it that's at stake within me? And when we start really realizing that, when people, even the other way around, there are different people that don't talk to me anymore. It's by design, because I always know that when people leave your life, they weren't meant to stay. You know, it was for a reason. And so it always for growth. And I wanted to tell you listeners out there is that, remember, when you go through things like that, just say it was necessary. It was necessary. It had to happen. Because when I think about it in the past, it hurt. It hurt me to the core sometimes when I think about certain people that left. But when I look at my life now, I said they had to leave for a reason so I can get to where I'm going to now.
It was on my itinerary to get to my destiny.
It's it.
I gotta pass this way to get to where I'm going. So it was necessary for me to encounter that person or not encounter that person anymore, because I'm going somewhere and this is on my itinerary to get there. I love that it was necessary piece. We sit there and we question and we wonder. Yeah, she's on it. She's on to Seymour. It's necessary, and we get so caught up in the why. Okay, God, why?
Yes.
And sometimes,
you know how many times we ask that question, why? Why? And then sometimes you just have to be at rest and say, you know what, God, just let your will be done, not my will. Just let your will be done. Because when I stopped doing that and started living my life, I started to see you keep questioning, but let me take you where I'm trying to take you. And that's what people don't understand, that sometimes we just got to relax and not worry about the why and let God do his own thing in your life.
I told y'all my sister was gonna come on here and just pour. Like she and this is just she, to be honest, this is she and I just having convo like we always have conversation. We just inviting y'all in to our conversation. Correct. But it's so on point because we get so caught up in the why. And sometimes we have to just ask, why not? What makes me exempt? What makes me exempt from going through this trial or this trouble or this whatever, this pandemic? And God's probably like, well, why not? Why shouldn't I put you through it? Well, it was necessary to build up some more things in you that may be lacking or non-existing. So why not? Why not give that challenge to Stephanie? Why not give that challenge to Calvin? They need a little more tough skin in this particular area or that particular area, or dealing with fake friends, or dealing with crazy family members, or dealing with those hostile co-workers that you want to just choke sometimes. So why not? You know what? Why not? Get it. Look, he already said he tried my servant Job, so why not Calvin?
Why not?
Why not Stephanie?
Because you'll never be ready. You'll never, Dr. Captain, you'll never be ready. Unless you go through something, you'll never be ready for the next thing. If everything is sunshine, every rosy day, everybody around you like you, everybody love you, you'll never be ready for the next thing. That's their story for you.
That's it. I made the promo. I left something off, so I'm gonna tackle it now. So I left off one of your titles I forgot. Life coach, author, talk show host, and a bunch of other stuff, y'all. Because she's like this Renaissance woman doing major things, Stephanie. That life coach thing stuck out of me. I'm like, damn, my sister life coach. How I missed that? But how are you managing all these titles that I just listed plus more and still managing to live your best life? That's
what? Because all of those titles, they are just titles. When you start living in your purpose and what your passion is, it's not work to you. So I had to come to the point and realize, okay, yeah, I may have this 8-to-5 job, it takes care of, it pays the bills, but what do I really want to do in my life? And so when you think about life coach, you think about author, you think about talk show host, you think about speaker. Those are some of the things that have always been in me and always have motivated me, that I wanted to be able to be of servant to someone else. You know, in this life, you're not here to just gain these accolades and accomplishments and say, look what I did. The point of it is that we all have talents and gifts that we have to bestow on other people. We have to help one another. And once we help one another, that pulls us up. People get too greedy in their own space to say, if I do this, this is going to get me here. But everybody got somewhere with the help of somebody else, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. And we have to realize that, you know, through all of it, I say, managing all of that is just because that's what I want to do. That's what my passion is, and that's what my purpose is, and that's where my destiny is leading me to, is on that path.
I love it. I love it. And you've always been a help to other people. I mean, I've known you for years. So even when you first started the 360 Talk Show, like just the topics and the conversation that you were putting out and the content way back then up until now, and I believe it's been like at least 12 plus years since you started doing this thing. It's just when you find your purpose, that adds to your that's that extra added value to your life, to the part of living your best life. We get so caught in the tangible things, but when you find your purpose, when you find when you get that that email or that text message from someone who say, you know, I watched your show, I listened to your show last week, and this encouraged me, or someone sows into you, into what you're doing. Those are the type of things that continue to add to this. I'm just living my purpose. Like I wasn't even expecting those things to happen, but this is just a part of, okay, God, this is a part of me living in my purpose. I guess why not? I'm just doing what you call me to do in this season and being the light that you call me to be. So I love how you top that off. I'm gonna go. Let me see. Can you walk us through a dark time for you on this journey and how you recovered? So we talk about the glitz and the they see my glory, but they don't know my story.
That's right.
You see me now. If you would have saw me 3 years ago when I was around here struggling from an injury and I was hopping around my apartment because I had to have a quad tendon repair. There's a backstory, but for my life coaching, author, hosting, sister, speaker, tell us about a time that you just was like, okay, this is, I don't know, and how you recover from it.
Yeah, so we'll start off here with this one dark time, and I have another one just in case time permits. But I really want to be real with people because they really need.
You my big sister. You got to tell me.
I want to be real with people because sometimes they see and they say, "Oh, okay, you always talk inspiration, you always talk motivation. Like there's nothing that goes on in your life," and that's not the case. It's all how we handle things in our life, and everybody goes through. And so when you talk about a dark time, I can remember one of the things that really stick out to me is that, people that have to deal with sickness in their life. And sickness could be, it could be things that are really, really tough sicknesses that people sometimes don't overcome. And I can remember one time in my life, and that's how I've always been. I never wanted to be sick. I never wanted to have someone to have to take care of me or be dependent on someone else. But I can remember it's been years ago, but one day it was over a process. I couldn't swallow. Nothing I could do. I couldn't swallow. Everything I eat, it would not just go down. And so they finally realized that it was a tumor in my throat. And so they were just trying to figure it out. And they said, okay, we need to see what it is. We need to, take a biopsy on it to see if it's what is it? And so, when you think about stuff like that, that's scary in your life. When you have to, go into the doctor, you don't know what it is. And they're actually sticking a needle, through your throat just to figure out, biopsying it. But, after everything, it came out, everything was good. Everything was benign. And when you go through scary things or moments in your life and that aha moment, then that just is a constant reminder to let you know these little things. You don't need to sweat the small things because, like I said, things with your health, we can spend all the type of money on our health, but when your health is gone and there's nothing, you can put so much money, but if your health ain't coming back, it's not coming back. And those are things that we take for granted. We worry about everything else, but it's those things that we don't really, we need to really be concerned about. And I can remember that was one of the turning points for me to say, you know what? if you got health and you in pretty good shape, you need to thank God and just move on. You don't worry about the distractions. You don't worry about the people, because the one thing that you can't get back is the hard thing you can't get back is your health. And so that was one thing, like I said, was a turning point for me.
I love it. I love how you talked about and one thing that's jumped out to me when you were talking was on this journey to living your best life, you're going to have to understand. And I'm over, look, you see me looking, I'm over here writing my little show notes. I'm not being rude. I'm over here writing my little show notes because stuff jumps out at me. The importance of reflecting on this journey. As I embark upon continuing to live my best life, I gotta have a flashback of something I went through that should have took me out of here. I gotta have a consistent flashback to not get so caught up in what's happening or who's around me to keep me humble. Humility is something that I admire from you, and I always have. Like, yeah, I'm doing all this, but I'm just the most humble person there is. And so that humility piece of just allows us to reflect back to a time like that, or for me, a time when I was homeless. And when I say homeless, homeless here in DC is different from homeless in Texas. I remember when I was 16 and the apartment burned down and we lost everything.
Yes,
we were homeless.
I remember.
Here in DC, homeless just means you're in transition. So if I stay with you on your couch, I'm in transition. So that labels me as homeless. I'm like, well, nah, I've been like homeless. Like I ain't got nothing, but my backpack on the way home from school. So to be able to have a flashback like that, to just be reminded of, yeah, all this other stuff people are promoting about living their best life, and it is the money, the fame, and this and that. It's not even about that. It's like it's the humility. It's the working on my attitude consistently. It's those small things that keep me in a space of gratefulness. Then you said the part about the health. I did a show a couple months ago about black men and their health, and it's crazy because black women don't mind. Oh, this hurt, I'm going to the doctor. Oh, this don't feel right, I'm going to the doctor. That's
right.
My brothers, I'm imploring you guys again. If we're gonna pay for the insurance monthly, we may as well use it. Half of us have the insurance and still gonna go to the dang doctor. I'm gonna thug it out. I'm nah, bro. You pay that premium for a reason every month. So I'm Calvin Green is going to the doctor. Let something not feel right, I'm gonna go. But the health piece is so important because when your body gives out, what you gonna do? You can't live your best life. You can't live your best life on a yacht in a wheelchair. I mean, you
that's
can.
True.
Let's go require a lot of energy so that if you're gonna live your best life, like my sister just said, take care of yourself. As we get older, when everybody says rest, I'm a fan. Take your nap. I miss working at home now because I was taking my nap every day. Like seriously, like you take a nap, you get your butt over there and you embrace getting older. When everybody say rest and retire, you do what you got to do. But yeah, that's probably living my best life, listening to my body more, because being on the hustle and the run all the time like we normally are, we don't get those moments as frequently as we need to. So yeah, I love that piece. Let's go. Gosh, what my thing is? I know Tessa's throwing me off over here because she is on the channel. Let's go. Okay, one of my favorite movies is what's it called? Tyler Perry. Is The Family That Prays?
Okay.
The Family That Prays with Alfred Woodard and the Caucasian lady.
Yes.
So this movie always jumps out at me for random reasons, and for tonight's show it did too. So one of the quotes in the movie was, "When are you gonna stop existing and start living?" So on this journey to living your best life, what was your aha moment when you said, you know what, I'm just sitting here existing and not living, and I need to do something about it like yesterday? Like, what was that moment for you when you were like, yeah, this ain't it. This ain't it, God. I need to start living more and not just existing. So talk to us about that.
Yeah. So when I really stepped out on routine, we so routine. You know, I go to work, I come home, I take care of what I need to take care of. Then The next day, same thing over. And you know what? I really, one day I just really said, you know what, this can't be all to life. This same routine. And I got tired of the routine. And so what I started doing to change things, I said, you know what, I'm going to change up my routine. I don't care if it's trying something new. I don't care if it's going to a new place, talking to a new person, learning a new skill, taking a class. I'm gonna do something new. And I think that's a lot of times with us, we get so bogged down is that we don't really focus on what is it besides living in that silo. It's more beyond that. It's more than just your routine. And so whatever it is, if we can fit that in, it could be just doing something that you've never done before, and all that type of stuff. That's what really got me out into really living my best life, and then really challenging myself, talking to other people, not being in the same group of people that, oh, I know they gonna pat me on the back, they gonna praise me for everything, but really being challenged by other people, going to other places and learning and experiencing new things. That's what really now is really fulfilling me in my life, is being able to be challenged, and doing different things and stepping out of their comfort zone.
I love it. I love it. Change your routine and being challenged. That changing your routine thing is huge, because we get so this. I hate at work when I ask a question and I say, well, why do we do this way? Oh, that's how it's always been done.
We did it for 10 years.
We've done this thing the same way for 10 years. And just because we've always been doing it that way doesn't mean that it's right. I'm that person that will come into the room and throw everything out the door and say, let's do something different. This ain't the answer to none of the questions.
Not the answer.
Let's change this thing. Even the way we go home. Be honest, some of us go home the same way all the time. Don't know none of the back roads. In case, what did you do if the main road you normally go down is blocked off? You so lost, don't know how to go around to maneuver through whatever. Even when we I told some friends of mine recently, like when the world was back up, like we got to go somewhere. When we going, I said, I'm Miami'd out. Give me somewhere else to go. Let's change this thing up. Like, because I'll go by myself. Like, let's change the routine. It's crazy and get out of your comfort zone. It said, like you said, being challenged as well. I'm one of those individuals where I'll try anything. I'll try anything once. And so it's just to say I've done it. So being challenged. So for me, crazy as it sounds, on the journey to 40, I started doing random things about 2 years ago. So one of the things for me was I went to Vegas and I did the jump off of the Stratosphere Hotel. Stratosphere Hotel. Yeah. My knees were rocking the whole time to prepare for this. But it's something that being challenged. You know what? Let's live a little bit more. Let's expand our horizons. And that 17-second drop was a lot. But after I did it, I'm like, man, I did that. Like, I don't know if I'll do it again, but I challenged myself to do it and get out of my comfort zone. And as we live our best lives, that comfort zone is such a safe space and a crush for so many of us that we have to come out that shell we got to bust open to be able to even experience an opportunity to live our best life. So I love how you said changing the routine and being challenged, because we like to challenge other people, but we don't like to be challenged.
Man, that's a word right there.
We're known for challenging other people, but we hate to be challenged, or we hate to be called to the carpet on our stuff. It's accountability. Why you challenge me? Why can't I challenge you? It makes many of us uncomfortable to be challenged, because that's just who we are. We're human. Even the pieces of at work, like I don't claim to be right all the time, but I hate when even on my job when people feel like they're the smartest ones in the room just because they're this person or that person. Like there are other people with bright minds and bright ideas that have a lot to offer as well. So why won't you allow me to interject here or interject there because you don't want to be challenged? Okay, I got it. Let me be quiet. Let me just sit over here in my corner because I don't want to rock the boat, but I will turn this table over if I need to.
I heard that.
Still, I want you to encourage somebody right now. So
Mhm.
tell us about some of the things you've done since you started living your best life. Because I follow you. I keep up with you. I might not talk regularly, but I'm watching my sister and getting motivation and all the other stuff, because you are doing that, and you're doing it in such a way where it's not just inspirational to women. As a man, I'm inspired. I'm sure
Oh man.
I mean, as a child, I mean, even as a teenager, you were inspiring us growing up in the church. Like Stephanie with the TCU, she's doing it. She's doing like you were that you were that fire starter, whether you knew it or not. For many of us, to just set goals, to strive for success, to do all these great things. And if Stephanie did it and came back to share with us and pour into us, that made it attainable and relatable for me as well. So what are some of the things that you started to do, or some things you've done since you just became Hollywood?
You know what? Some of the things I started really doing is really, like you said, I think just making a plan and being committed to living a balanced life. Like we always say, you know, we use that cliche, you know, work hard, play harder. But you know what? I really had to really assess what are the things that are important to me in life. Right. And so I've always loved education. I always loved learning. And so one of the things that I love is that I love to just take different leadership courses, because that's where I want to strengthen my skills up in leadership. So I do that. And then other things that I do is just really focus on the inner. You know, a lot of times we on the surface, you know, and I'm glad you pointed that out. On the surface, you can say, oh yeah, you know, you did this, you got this many degrees, you did that. But self-improvement internally is an ongoing process. And that's what you have to do to continue to continue to be sane. You know, it's got to start within, because things are happening in your life and then you like, oh, okay, I'm good. I'm moving and shaking on the surface, but your inside is all tore up. So really staying balanced within that and building up on education. And then, like I said before, you know, embarking on new experiences, challenging yourself. You're not going to grow unless you challenge yourself, and getting out the comfort zone environment. Like I said, that comfort zone environment where, oh, okay, because I know my brother over here, he gonna pat me on the back. He gonna tell me, Dr. Calvin, I got people in my circle. They'll tell me when I'm doing wrong, but they're gonna pat me on the back. But it's different when you going to somebody else that's gonna give you a real challenge and tell you and let you know through your experiences, okay, these are some things that you need to sharpen up on. And so that's what I continue to do. And I think that's what's really made me a well-rounded person. And then the last thing is just really living out my purpose. That's how you're gonna live out your best life, not fighting it. You know, I always used to stay in the background and work behind the scenes and help other people. But it came to a certain point that it wasn't always for them, it was for me to sometimes, be the person that would be the person that would be out front to influence others and pull others in.
I love it. I want to go back to something you said earlier. You talked about self-improvement, but I'm going to go back to something you said earlier about the self-care. People don't seem to understand that self-improvement is a part of your self-care. Like for me, I want to be my best self. So it's not just about getting the massages and getting the manicure and the pedicure and going on nice trips. What are you doing to better yourself? That's a part of your self-care. What are you doing? Take a leadership class or doing something different to challenge yourself personally or professionally. What are those different things that you're doing? That's a part of your self-care. Like it's not just about the simple stuff, it's about the intangible stuff as well. Knowledge, friendship circles, and hell, reading the book. Right. That's a part of your that's part of your self-care as well. Like empowering your mind. You said the education, the challenging yourself, getting out of the comfort zone, guys. That is so key, because it's built for you to stay there. So it has a purpose behind it, but you can't maximize it if you don't come out of it. So it's like I'm gonna date myself. It's Linus with the blanket from Charlie Brown. Linus took that blanket everywhere he went. That was his comfort zone. Linus probably today is somewhere 65 years. I want to do a Charlie Brown now. Linus probably 65 years old with a blanket, sitting in a wheelchair with that same blanket from when he was 4 years old years ago. Still that's a crutch for you. The comfort zone is a crutch. It's time to break the crutch at times for us to be able to maximize living our best life. So I love how you tackle that, because that comfort zone piece, once you break it and get out of it, that's how you begin to live on purpose, live out your purpose. Everybody has a purpose, but it's crazy that we allow so many people to get in our head and get in our ears that it takes some people longer to figure out what their purpose is. When you find out what your purpose is, like you and I have, you can live your best life. I know what my purpose is. I know what I'm called to do. I know what I played around with for a long time, and I ran from it. But now it's like, okay, this thing been over the head for a while. That's my purpose. I just didn't want to acknowledge it or accept it. So no, thank you for sharing that piece. Let me see, where am I going? You said you had another aha moment. I want you to share it. I'm sorry. You said you had two of them. If you still want to share the recovery, you said there was another recovery moment in time when you just. What was my question? I done forgot it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The aha moment.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing I did want to share with your listeners, the first thing we talked about, the aha moment that kind of give you the realization and help you start on your journey of living your best life. I talked about, sickness, things that we don't want to be sick. The next thing is everybody can relate to this, promotion on the job. And the reason why I say that is that everybody feels that they should be promoted for some reason, reason or the other. And I can remember for years that I always said, you know what, I just wonder why did I was qualified. I didn't get the promotion. What's the, I got 3 degrees. What is the issue? And, we've all felt frustrated within our careers to say, I look good. What is it? I'm more educated than this person. I worked on more at this particular job than they have. Why did they get the promotion? And I kept turning my wheels. I used to turn my wheels about that all the time. And I finally, after so many years, I remember God spoke to me and said, you're not addressing everything that you need to address in your own life. And so when I heard that moment, what he was really trying to tell me and what it may be to you on things that we feel that we should get promoted to, it wasn't the surface level. It was the internal level, because what God was saying, I can't give you that yet because you're not ready for it. And what I had to realize is that, like we were talking about, the attitude, your attitude is not right for that position. Sometimes we think our wilderness is the bad state, but God is covering us in that wilderness. When I was at that particular position that I was in, I was being covered because I wasn't ready to handle nothing else. Yeah. And so once I found it said, and I was listening and I was listening to one program that said, you know what, you need to just move forward. I moved forward, not wondering about why didn't I get the promotion, or about other people, were just focusing on me. And so with that particular job, I started doing things like being there early. I started taking on other things. I started changing my attitude. I didn't let things bother me that normally would bother me, all those different things. And do you know, within less than a year, I got promoted. And it was no question about it, because at that point, even I knew sometimes we're not ready. We claim we ready. We weren't ready. But now I look back, I wasn't ready then, because I would have messed it up. God said, no, I'm going to protect you. I'm going to cover you, because you got to get right first. We want these promotions. We want these things in our life. We want to, live in a big house on the hill. We want to be on a mountaintop. But are you really ready for it? And it's not always about different things. When God gets ready to bless you, he will bless you. But are you really ready for it internally? Do you have what it takes to maintain it?
Oh, okay. You just gave a whole word. Great. And I was like, okay, she done messed me all the way up over here. It's one of those things where Rosie, I like her. Takeem, listen. So Stephanie, you just messed me up, because you talked about the internalization piece, and we internalize a lot of things as humans, but one thing we don't internalize is accountability. So I can internalize a whole bunch of stuff, but I don't internalize my accountability. Like, what am I? I put a post up a little while ago about people love to talk about how toxic a workplace was, but are they owning their parts in it? So this workplace was bad in your opinion, but what did you do to make it bad?
Yeah, correct.
What did you do to help this thing? What are you owning in this season? or what are you
Correct.
owning with regards to your pieces of it? So the internalization piece is key. It's huge. And then I want to add to what you were saying, the piece about God won't bless you with what you're not ready for. I love me some Travis Malloy. I have the millions, billions, trillions paraphernalia. I'm a fan of the movement. It's a great mindset. It's a great motivator. However, God's not going to bless you with a million, billion, trillion. You can't manage your budget you got right now.
He God's won't do it.
Bless you with a million, a billion, or a trillion if you're not a tither. There are just certain things that you have to do to prove to God that you are able to handle what He's going to bless you with. So if you can't even manage your current paycheck, how am I bless you with $1 million? How am I going? There are just certain things that we are just not ready for. That we think we're ready for, we're not ready for it, and God's not going to release it until it's time.
He ain't gonna release it. I love that. He's not gonna release it. You repeat that. He ain't gonna release it.
He's not gonna release nothing you're not ready for. So that man you waiting on, he ain't gonna release him.
He ain't gonna release
you waiting on, that job, that whatever you waiting on, he's not.
It's not gonna come.
You're ready for it. I'm gonna take you back. I'm gonna take you back to McDonald's. You go through the drive-through. You listen. When I was eating McDonald's, the quarter cheese meal, no mustard, no onion, was mine. Number 3, hands down. Put it in the window. I order it. I pay for it. Okay, that's God. Okay, God, I gave you my order. God say, okay, hold on, you're not ready for it. They say, pull up to the line and we'll bring it out to you. I got a special order that has to be specially prepared because God got something special for me that He has to bring out to me that is not ready at the current time frame right now. So you know what, Calvin, pull your behind up to that line and wait till I bring it out to you. That's what we get caught up and get messed up at because we want it right then. It's the microwave mentality of I want what I want right now, and God's saying you're not even ready for it.
You ain't ready for it.
You can't handle what I got for you.
And then once you finally get it, like I said, once you finally get to where He's taking you, you can understand. You at that point, you was not ready for that because you would have lost it. And I thank God all the time. He's like, nah, see, if I would have gave it to you, you would have messed it up. And so for those that are really connected, when you connected with God, He ain't gonna mess you up. Sometimes we stumble up and we get things that sometimes we get our hands slapped. We do because we weren't supposed to have it because we was working on our own will. But when God really is saying, I'm gonna bless you, He gonna make sure you're ready for it. So all those things that we don't want to go through nothing, we don't want to have to deal with anything. Some of those things are just leading to the blessing. And sometimes we have to take it with a grain of salt and say, you know what, I'm gonna go through because it's preparing me. We always looking at the sight, what's right in front of us. It's not what's right in front of us, it's what's ahead of us. And when we start realizing it's what's ahead of me, not where I'm at, that God is trying to get us to go, then we can understand why we go through certain stuff or why we in a certain season that we're in.
We spend so much time looking back like Lot's wife.
Looking back.
And we remember what happened to her. I ain't got time to be no pillar of salt. Like I just don't have time for that. I need to stay focused on what's ahead of me to get to what God's got for me. And whatever God's got for me is not going to be contaminated or have anybody else's fingerprints on it.
Correct.
I want what He got for me. I want my special order. So God, I'm gonna put up to this line at McDonald's and wait till you bring it out to me because you care enough for me to bring it out to me. You're just not gonna just throw it out and say here.
Yeah, and I always say a lot of time when people get, when we think we should have certain things, a lot of people get. I say, you know what? Now I just say that's their blessing. That's their blessing. It wasn't mine. See, a lot of times we like, oh, I thought I should have. No, that's their blessing. And I'll be like, you know what? More power to you. That's your blessing. I don't want nothing that ain't mine. So when we start realizing that, I want what's for me. And when you realize what's for you, then you ain't worried about what everybody get. You're gonna be in line because I always say that God keeps His promises. We want things when we want them, but it's things that I know that I had seen visions years ago that God, He may just not be fulfilling, but He keeps His promises. He didn't tell us when it was going to happen, but He kept His promises. And so we got to stand on that. Whatever the track record, whatever has happened in your life that you see that has been fulfilled in your life, no, God keeps His promises in everything He said He's going to do.
Everything.
Not just
the small things.
Everything.
And you just answered my question already. So I'm gonna say that, how important was your faith in helping you to establish the foundation for living your best life? Sometimes all I got is my faith or my peace. These are the things that I'm relying on. I may not have no money in the bank, but I got a lot of faith.
Mm-hmm.
I may have lost a lot of things, but I haven't lost my he's able.
That's right.
I may have gone through a lot of things, but it's helped to keep me humble as I move on the itinerary towards my destiny of what God has for me. I love it. I love it. I love it. Stephanie, it's somebody watching it right now. They watching it right now live. They may be watching at 2 a.m. in Australia one day. I'm speaking it now. They may be watching at 1 a.m. in London one day. For somebody that's just watching randomly at some random time in the night or in the morning, I just want you just to share your heart with them and give you the opportunity just to kind of encourage them on this journey to living their best life. So can you share something with them to encourage them, to inspire them, or just motivate them?
Yeah, so you know what I'll say, just to make this a universal statement for everyone, and I'll say that is that however, you know, in your life, we all go through different things in our life. We're all faced, even right now, with certain challenges. You know, some parts of our life, things may be going good, but just know that there are always going to be hurdles that you're going to have to overcome. And what I say about that is that we have to really start speaking things in the atmosphere. And what I mean by that is that, you know, a lot of things is that we can't, our talk has to match our walk. And so what I mean by that is that if you're going through something or you're not going through something, we got to say, you know what, God gonna make a way out of no way. Or if you're not that religious type person, just say, I know things are gonna work out. We have to start speaking things. The more we start speaking things, things happen. That's the point that people don't understand. Because long as you talk negative, and that's all in our life, long as you continue to talk negative things are gonna come out in your life. But when you start speaking like, you know what? I didn't get that job, but I got a job. Oh, you know what? That thing didn't work out for me, but something else is waiting for me. See, that's how you turn that thing around. Oh, that man wasn't for me, but it's another one out there waiting for me. You gotta continue. See, we gotta keep ourselves pumped up and motivated. See, that's what keeps me going. Because if I sit up here and dwell on all the things that didn't work out in my life, where would I be? See, we got to get to a point where, you know what? I'm on a mountaintop. I may be in the valley, but I'm gonna talk like I'm on a mountaintop till things turn around in my favor. So this is for anybody. Whatever you may be going through, whatever you may be entering in your life, you got to speak things into existence. Once you start speaking those things into existence, come back and tell Dr. Calvin, it works. It does work, but you got to stay motivated and you got to keep yourself up and keep your spirits high.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you don't know who this amazing lady is, listen, this is my big sister, in who I'm well pleased. I'm gonna throw that in there.
Oh, but please, thank you.
Stephanie, somebody that's watching, tell them what's next for you, what's coming down the pipeline, how they keep up with you. I want to give you a chance to share the platform and just tell them how they can, you know, because she's doing some amazing things, y'all. Keep up with her.
Yeah, so you can follow us on Power Talk with Stephanie Knowles. We're on Facebook. My website page is www.360transform.org. And when we're not in the studio with Power Talk with Stephanie Knowles, because it's an inspirational and motivational community-based show, we are out in the community. So if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we have things that are coming your way. We've been in the community. We back outside. So community event, community resources, everything is always free at the event. So I may be out there hosting the event. I may be out there helping with the event, but I always offer things out there within the community that people can connect to and unify in the community. You know, we all need each other. I think that pandemic showed us that we all need each other in some capacity or form. So we need to be connected because you never know when you may need a sister or brother that you don't know.
That's it, y'all. Follow her now. Keep up with her. My sister is doing some amazing stuff. I know you have some other amazing things coming down the pipeline. Please know you are always welcome to come back. Just let me know. We'll get you going. I'm gonna support you like I've always been supporting you.
Always.
I love you. I thank you for everything.
Love you too.
thank you for giving me my start. This whole thing started because of you inviting me on a show, on one of your shows, and it must have been something good that I said because you invited me back, and I didn't embarrass myself or embarrass you. So thank you for giving me this idea 12 plus years ago to do my thing. But I am just so awesomely and amazingly inspired by you. I'm always encouraged by you. Thank you for everything. You are a gift to so many people. So thank you for walking in your purpose, in your calling. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been this week's edition of Dialogues with Dr. My amazing guest, Stephanie Knowles. I will see you guys again next Wednesday for another amazing episode of Dialogues with Dr. We're going to take this thing up a little bit high. Y'all see I changed my little thing tonight because my sister was coming. I had to change the colors and stuff up. So I'm just preparing over here. So y'all make sure y'all are in tune next week for another amazing episode of Dialogues with Dr. Didi. Thank you. Thank you so much, Didi Moffitt.
Thank you.
Stephanie, hold tight for me. Don't log out yet, okay?
Okay.